Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're flying on Scoot, which is Singapore Airlines budget arm. Today we'll fly from Incheon to Singapore, and then from Singapore we'll fly to Bali Denpasar. Our journey begins at Incheon International Airport, Counter F. The regular economy class line is packed, but since I have Singapore Airlines status, I can use the priority check-in line, which is usually reserved for only premium economy. Moving on to security, Incheon is busy but not terribly crazy. We waited in line for about 30 minutes. After security, we needed to take the tram to the satellite terminal where a Boeing 787 was waiting for us at gate 113. However, before heading to the gate, we will stop by the Skyhub lounge, which is much quieter and smaller than the ones found in the main terminals. The Skyhub here has a selection of warm dishes like stir-fried beef, spicy fried chicken, fried rice, a cold bar, ramen, snacks, and non-alcoholic and alcoholic beverages. I will start with a small glass of white wine and a few orange slices. Going from Skyhub to gate 113 would take about 5 to 7 minutes depending on how fast you walk. Alright folks, we are now at gate 113. Since I have priority boarding through Singapore Airlines, I could bypass the main line and head straight to the front. The Scoot livery is very LCC-esque. You can see that bright yellow logo as you walk down the Jetbridge. In addition, all passengers enter through the main door regardless of cabin class. So, my first impression of the cabin was that it was definitely not Singapore Air. The violet and neon colored seats are reminiscent of Disney's Galactic Pizza Port or Blockbuster. It has that, 90s retro feel. Anyway, as you know, there is no IFE available, so make sure to bring your own entertainment. Additionally, the tray table is located directly in front of you and is pretty standard, nothing spectacular. The pocket in front of me contains a safety pamphlet for the Boeing 787. Now we have a Scoot Catalogue, which you can browse if you're into shopping. Moreover, we have the Scoot Cafe magazine. Interestingly, each destination has its predetermined cafe selection. There are also snacks and beverages you can pay for as well, which are not destination based. Okay, now the Jetbridge is being pulled away. We will taxi to runway 16L, from which we will finally depart for our destination Singapore, and from there to Bali Denpasar. We are now at 16L, so please enjoy the takeoff. Alright, so it's been about 20 minutes since we departed Incheon. The cabin was pretty quiet except for the snoring man seated in the center of the cabin. It was not really a problem for most, and many people were just laughing it off. As I mentioned earlier, the cabin had this weird retro feel, and the window button covers were also peeling off. On the side, we have some basic controls for the overhead lights and call buttons. Moving on, the onboard entertainment is transmitted via Wi-Fi. You have to scan the QR code to access the website. There are a few things to do, including games, live location tracking, and minor music options. The cafe and Scoot catalogs can also be found in the Wi-Fi IFE. I ordered the Indonesian style chicken with rice prior to boarding. The flight attendant handed to me about a tray. With the meal came water in a can, which was the first for me, and some brownie chips which originated from Indonesia. Anyways, the meal itself was not too bad. The chicken was moist and the Indonesian sauce was pretty spicy. Moreover, the rice was very fluffy and fragrant. Portion size was a little small, but because I already ate in the lounge, it was not a big concern. I heard some mixed reviews about Scoot's meals, and even though the presentation was not the best, I still thought it was an okay meal. Lastly, let's take a look at the lavatory. It was a standard Boeing 787 lavatory with automatic flushing and faucets. There are no amenities, but the attendants kept the lavatory clean overall. For the remainder of the flight, I listened to music on my other cell phone and played a few word games on the Scoot app. Time flew pretty quickly, and before I knew it, the captain came on the overcom to announce our descent. Unfortunately, the weather over Singapore was windy, rainy, and overall stormy, so our landing was delayed for almost 30 minutes. Eventually, however, we made our final descent and landed at Singapore Changi Airport. As you can see, the windows were fogged up, making it hard to look outside. Okay, so here we are touching down. I'm so happy just to land in Singapore, even for a layover. Singapore happens to be one of my favorite cities in the world. Overall, I'll give my flight 3 out of 5 stars. The Boeing 787's cabin looked highly outdated, but the flight attendants were professional. On the other hand, it would have been more proper to provide a food tray when delivering fully ordered meals rather than simply handing it out to passengers. The Wi-Fi IFE was decent even for an LCC. Anywho, this layover is a little over 18 hours. Please stay tuned for Scoot Part 2 from Singapore to Bali Denpasar. Happy travels, and remember, this is Sunrise Lifestyle. Please like, share, and subscribe.